Today, I'm going to take you through the two rosters that I currently manage on my Steam account for Lost Ark. Between these two accounts, I make around 200 to 250,000 gold per week, all without doing endless dailies, because that's for the birds. So I'm going to take you through what I typically do on a daily basis and on a weekly basis, how I hone my characters, and a few extra things along the way. So let's go ahead and get into my main account and what my daily routine looks like. So what I do whenever I log on every day is I go straight to my Zosma account, which is my main account, and I log on to my Slayer. I will accept any login rewards. Then I will donate some silver to my guild, so I make sure and get those bloodstones at the end of the week. And then I will start doing any Una tasks that are rested if I have 3. If I do not have 3, I will not do them, and that goes for any of my top 3, which is my Slayer, Glavier, and Gunslinger. Then I will check and see if I have any rested Guardians or Chaos dungeons to do, and then I will do them at that point. And just like the Una tasks, I only do the dailies on my top 3 characters and only when they're rested. After I do the dailies on my top 3 on Zosma, I will switch over to the Azina server, which is my alternate roster, and then I will also do any rested Una tasks for that roster. And I do this because the Una task gold that you get from doing enough Una tasks, dailies, and weeklies during the week is definitely worth it to do just to log on real quick and go through these dailies, because I'll be getting 5,000 to 8,000 gold per week just from doing that on average, and it takes about 15 minutes per week or so. So it's like doing one raid, and I think that gold per 15 minutes is definitely worth it. But I do not do any dailies as far as Guardian raids or Chaos dungeons are concerned on my alternate roster. And I also do not do the Challenge Abyss dungeons or Challenge Guardians typically, unless my week just goes really smooth and I have enough time to do them. And just in case you were wondering how long I've only been doing rested dailies, I actually made a video on this a couple months ago, which I'll link over here in the other part of the screen if you want to watch that as well, because even at that point I was extremely tired of doing dailies. And in fact, I looked back and I have this handy dandy chart here that I keep track of every single week, as you can see down here, since basically I started playing the game. And even around August or July, this is when I really started to decrease the amount of dailies I was doing. As you can see here, this was in August of last year, and the capitalized letters are when I did 2 and the lowercase letters are when I did 1. So this is when I really started doing rested dailies, because it was just not something I enjoyed. I do not like the daily system in this game, but doing them rested on the characters I really enjoy playing makes it fun, and it feels rewarding, because doing the rested you get 2 times the reward, so it does feel good and like you're actually doing something for the amount of time that you're spending. So I've been doing only rested dailies for a long time, and I managed to make plenty of materials. All I'm doing is storing materials for now. After I do all of my typical daily activities, I will start to get some raids in. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of raids that I have to do each week in order to do all of them. But the way I go about it to be as time efficient as possible is that I will typically run all my Vicuses in the first day and knock them out in about 12 to 15 minutes each, and they're done. And that's usually all the raids that I will do on the first day, just because of my own time constraints to about 3 hours of playtime per day. Some days I have a little bit more, but over the last few months I've been trying to create content and make videos for this game as well, so a lot of time is just spent kind of sitting there in the game while I'm making a video or getting screenshots or something like that. So I try to be as efficient as possible with the time that I'm spending in the raids and the gold that I'm earning, so that I can do what I actually want to in the game and juice the characters that I really enjoy. After I get all my Vicuses done, I will go to the next easiest raid, which is typically Brelshaza 1 and 2, and I only do normal now unless my guildmates are doing hard at that moment. And I really enjoy doing the raids with my guild. There are a lot of cool people in there. So if you're on NAE Zazma and you need a guild, let me know down in the comments. I'm gonna send them to your in-game name. You can come over to our guild. It's really fun. I will just procal because it makes it pretty much a guaranteed 1-2 quick easy clear in about 15 minutes or less for 4,500 gold. And then after I get all my 1-2s finished, I will focus on the Kyngels or Vultans. I don't do Clown anymore because I've gotten jailed so many times in Clown. I just don't do it anymore. And Vultan's much easier to do. I can get the run done in like literally 10 minutes. And even on my sorceress, if I don't have time or just don't want to run Kyngel on her, I will run Vultan on her as well. I always get in the Kyngels for my top 4 because I use my Blade's purple orb materials to convert to my gold orb materials to actually buy the gems for every week, and then I use all of the purple orbs on my Glaivier Slayer and Gunslinger to just buy more mats, so I have more mats on them to eventually trade to the Econ gear. So that's kind of how I'm playing it right now. After I get all the Kyngels done, then I will start to go to my alternate account weekly raids, and I will do it in the same order. I will do Vicus's first, and then I will do Brel 1-2s, which I only have one character at Brel 1-2, and then I will do any Vultans, Argoses, etc. If I get those done, which usually I don't. Usually that's kind of where my week ends, is I will get some of these raids done and all of these raids done. But on the off chance that I do have time, I will run 3-6s on my Glaivier Slayer and my Gunslinger, because usually in those parties they're all going to be super juiced. We're just doing normal, so it's very, very quick. But even then, sometimes I get jailed in 5 and 6, and it just makes it not worth the time that I'm spending. So I make sure and get all of these done first, and then go back to the 3-6s. With that being said, I'm usually make around 50k or so from my alternate roster, and I usually make around 150 to 200 on my main account. It really depends on the honing books that get dropped, or legendary engraving books at the end of raids, or if I do my Brel 3-6s on 3 or 4 characters, whatever it may be. I don't hone these characters at all if it costs gold, which is going to segue into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is why I have my roster where it's at, with 2 1580s, basically 2 1560s, and then kind of just 2 hanging around 1540, just chilling. And that is because past 1540, it costs so much to continue honing. It costs so much gold, it costs so much extra materials, and it costs a lot of silver. But the reason I haven't honed my Sork or my Striker past 1540 is because I just don't have that much fun on them. I do enjoy doing the raids on them, and I have a lot of fun playing them, but honing them and making them more powerful is not going to make me have any more or less fun with them. So they're good where they're at because I really enjoy doing the raids with them. I can do all the raids. I can literally do all of the content except for Kyngel normal on my Striker, which who cares? It's really not that big of a deal. For me to hone my Striker to 1540, it would take 55k gold, 700 Arreha stones, and that alone, just that cost, makes me not want to spend that gold. So this is why I always have this planned out ahead of time. I know how much it's going to cost to allow me to do more content on that character, and that way I can see if it's worth it. And I just use max roll for this, so I really advise y'all do the same. Now, initially I thought I was going to take my Blade up super high. That's why she's 1555, but she's just kind of fallen off for me. I haven't really been having a lot of fun, as much fun as my Gunslinger, Slayer, and Glaivier, so I've just kind of parked her at 1555. But the top 3 classes I absolutely love playing, and I'm eventually going to take my Gunslinger to 1580 and do a con with her, but I haven't yet because frankly I don't want to do 3 Econs first week. I just don't want to do that because it's too much, and I'm probably not going to be able to get all 3 of those done. Around the time a con even comes out, or just a little bit later, they will likely release another honing buff or something a little bit different to make it even cheaper for my Gunslinger to get to 1580 in the first place. So there's not really a huge benefit or a huge driving factor for me to do that, and I get accepted into any freaking group I want to with my gunslinger Kyengel normal. I'm 1560, so I'm 20 eye levels above. So it's very easy for me to get into a Kyengel normal. Very easy to do my own brels. Very easy to do all the content and have a ton of fun. And that's what this game is about, right? Is having fun. That's what any game is about. So that's why I haven't honed her to 1580. Plus, I would rather spend the amount of money that it would take to hone her to 1580, which is going to be about 100 to 150k. I would rather spend that on level 9 gems for her because she's timed to hunt. Her top 3 damage skills are focus shot, perfect shot, and target down. So I could spend around 300k and go from level 7 gems to level 9 gems and greatly increase her overall damage because those are her 3 main damaging skills. But that's why I have these characters where they're at. And as far as these characters, I have them where they're at because I don't want to spend any gold on honing them. But also adding more raids for these last couple of people probably isn't conducive to my overall time because I haven't been able to get all of my raids done on all of them in weeks. There's not really a point for me to keep juicing all of them to get up that high. I hope that answered some of your questions about how I manage 2 different rosters at the eye levels that they are at, why I have them at those eye levels, how much gold I make, how I make it, what my daily and weekly activities are, my priorities, all of those kinds of things. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to ask me in the comment section. I would love to help you out. Even if you have a question about your account or what maybe activity is more efficient per hour or per 15 minutes or something like that, then please ask me. I would love to help you out if you need any help or want any advice for your own roster. And like the video if you're excited for the new balance patch coming in August. I know I am, and I'm super excited for Aeromancer as well. And I might be even more excited about the Juiced event that we are getting. If you haven't started prepping for Aeromancer release, do not worry, I also made a video for that. I'm going to put that up in the screen right now as well. So make sure and go check that out too. It's going to be a super relaxed first couple of weeks. And you don't just have to use it on an Aeromancer. You can use it on anything. So pick a class that you want and absolutely go for it because there's so many fun classes in this game. But guys, that is everything for this video. Consider subscribing to the channel. We're almost at 3k subs. We're so close, guys, and I know that we can get there with your help. And join the community Discord if you're looking for a fun, positive place to be. My name is Dubla, and I will see you on the next video.